Hello everybody and welcome to our area tour. Today we'll be talking about Zagaleta and why it's considered to be the best urbanization in the whole of Europe. I'll be showing you stuff that you will not see anywhere else. And we will visit several properties like the one behind me, listed at 14.5 million euros. Also, I'll talk to you about construction costs to build your own mansion. And we will take a peek into the Villa Cullinan secret gardens. After this, you're gonna be an expert on Zagaleta. So you ready? Let's go! Good morning everybody! We're all set, nice and early, making our way to Zagaleta. For those of you that didn't know, Zagaleta started its development in the early 90s. Its total size is 900 hectares, that's 9 million square meters of land, and they've got security and detector measures all around the perimeter. Originally a private hunting estate, but now we've got around 250 properties including plots. And the only way to get in is through the north or the south entrance, which are both guarded with armed security that is also patrolling all the internal roads. Buenos días. ¿Qué tal? Perfecto. Son dos coches, este y el Mercedes blanco. So to get in, I've got this card which I scan and the computer immediately gets all my details and the address of the property that I'm going to. You're supposed to only go to the address which you're authorized to visit. So you don't want to see the guards see you drive around in different sectors of Zagaleta, because then they'll stop you and ask you questions of why you are there. There are almost no plots left to build, and therefore the tendencies today are to purchase old houses for demolition or to reform them due to this. For example, we have this villa listed at 4.9 million euros with a great investment potential. Currently an Andalusian style but easily converted into modern lines. On a plot of 6,600 square meters and built just over 1,000 square meters. 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms and enjoying this absolutely stunning sea views. You cannot find almost no plot with views like this anymore. But gladly, there's a new area to Zagaleta that is still pending on development, where there are another 60 plots for future construction and where a 6-star luxurious hotel is planned to be built with its own entrance. That'll be the third entrance. Of course, the clients will have very limited access to Zagaleta and its amenities, because what makes Zagaleta so special is how difficult to get into it is. The fact that you cannot enter Zagaleta is what makes it so unique and attracts the wealthiest. There are a lot of rumors about who lives in Zagaleta, a million of them. The most known probably is that the Russian president owns a house here. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but it's not true, it's just a rumor. I've been to the house myself and it belongs to a different gentleman. Zagaleta is divided into different sectors which go by the letter A, B, C up to J, and all the roads are named after Spanish painters and compositors such as Manuel de Falla and Claudio Coelho. The best sector in terms of views and highest median price level per property, I would say, would be sector H. It's at the highest point, closest to the security, and enjoys just absolutely stunning views, the best that you can probably get. Currently several houses are listed in the sector H from the 10 to 20 million margin, like for example this property over here listed at 9,950,000 euros on a plot of 4,000 and built 1,000 square meters. Of course, you can find astonishing properties in different areas of Zagaleta, but here would be gathered the most amount of them, boasting this magnificent sea views. The cheapest villas for sale are just under 2 million euros. For example, we have this property listed at 1,890,000 euros, which would be a fantastic example of what you can buy today, on a plot of 3,850 square meters and a built volume of 600 square meters with very nice views. The most expensive houses go way above 20 and 30 million euros. I'm sure you've all heard of the famous Villa Cullinan that Drumelia has exclusively for sale. If not, you have to urgently check out one of many videos that we have on our YouTube channel. It's the house that you see right behind me. It's one of the most expensive, amazing and unique properties for sale in Zagaleta and the rest of Marbella, maybe Spain as well. And if you have seen the video, then I have a special surprise for you. I'm going to show you the secret gardens of Villa Cullinan. The gardens can be accessed through this staircase or from a separate road without going through the main house, which is an important detail. These gardens are very private and away from the main house, so you can have a nice party here without disturbing people at the house. They have won many prizes and they're unique because they're very old. Originally, these gardens were part of an Andalusian house that eventually was demolished when the owners bought this property. But the thing is, you just cannot have such a garden in a new house because it's impossible to plant trees of such size and volume. The gardens were eventually left untouched, even though there were multiple ideas discussed of what can be done here. It can be plenty of gameplays for the kids, you can have some party ambiences, maybe even a second pool away from the main property. But whatever you decide to do, it will add a lot of value to this unique jewel. Did you know that Cullinan stands for the biggest diamond ever found? Well, that's one of the reasons that this is called Villa Cullinan. I've even been to houses where just the construction cost was around 20 million euros. And if they were listed someday for sale, well, we would be talking about the 40–50 million margin for sure. I would say that a medium value property in Zagaleta would be around the 5 to 7 million margin, even though you get quite a lot of houses around the 10–15 million as well. So it's quite an expensive neighborhood, with owners of over 25 nationalities in here. Even though predominant nationalities are English, German and the northern of Europe. And even in today's complicated market, Zagaleta still attracts a lot of attention and deals are happening on a constant basis. The most recent examples of properties being sold are the famous Heaven 11 and Villa Cypress, just to name a few, both of them above 10 million listing price. We have registered a much higher demand in 2020 for Zagaleta from our clients than the previous years, nevertheless of the global situation. This may be because Zagaleta offers a unique lifestyle that adapts to today's tendencies of people moving away from the city life. The land prices start at just under 1 million euros and they go all the way up to 10 million euros plus for the best plot. And its value comes from the views and the eventual flat garden, not only price per square meters. As it's very steep up here, sometimes you can get a plot of 4,000 square meters that has a flat garden bigger than in a property with a plot of 8,000 square meters. The minimum size of a plot is 3,000 square meters, up to all the way 15,000 square meters. Plus sometimes you can get an owner who joins two plots together and they get an even bigger property. I'd like to use this opportunity to show you a piece of land that we have for sale in Sector A, 5,315 square meters, listed at 3,300,000 euros. With a total building volume of 15%, which is 800 square meters, and check out these views. Undoubtedly an interesting project, but you need some good imagination, patience, and a good architect. Here in Zagaleta has to be Tobal. Did you know that Tobal architects have built to date 110 villas inside of Zagaleta? That's almost 50% of the current houses that exist in here. Wow! I mean, when I think of Zagaleta, I don't think anybody else has influenced so much the tendencies and architectural development of Zagaleta in general as have done Tobal architects. In part, when we look at Zagaleta, we see a reflection of work of father and son, Miguel and Diego Tobal. A lot of clients ask us if it's better to build a house or to buy one. So I'll give you a very brief estimation on this land as an example of the building costs. Approximate, because real figures depend on a million factors. So what we have here, 800 square meters plus basement, that's about 1,200 square meters in total. Minimum, you're looking at 2,000 euros per square meter for good quality. so that's about 2.4 million euros. You need about 300,000 for a good retaining wall, 100,000 for the kitchen, maybe another 100,000 for the landscape. I'm not going to take the furniture in consideration because the furniture can cost you from 100,000 to a million euros depending on the brands and the quantity and the quality. So that's 2.9 million euros, but you've got to add all the architect fees, project management, licenses, geological studies, technical reports, permits, taxes, that's a big one, and many, many more. All that may be somewhere around, let's say, 600,000 euros. So you're looking at 3.5 million euros. Plus you have to add the plot itself and the cost to acquire the plot. Let's say for the sake of the experiment that this plot cost us 3 million euros, plus cost of taxes to purchase it. So round that all up together, you're looking somewhere around 7 million euros. And that's without furniture and just under 3 years. Well, you build the house in less than 18 months, but every single step before and after the actual building requires a lot of time, believe me. We had the pleasure of developing Villa Arcadio from the grounds in Zagaleta that won the prize of the best villa in Europe in 2016. And I tell you, it was a tough job, but also very gratifying. Drumelia did the project management of that house, and I was involved with the whole process from the beginning, on site every week for 2 years. It was an amazing experience. Building can be stressful, but the result depends on you. And a project as the one I just described for this kind of plot nowadays in Zagaleta with this kind of view could be selling just under 10 million euros, listed at a higher price too. So there you go. Currently, I can count 10 new projects being built in Zagaleta or beginning to being built. All these houses will be listed somewhere between 5 and 30 million euros. The most quickest ones will be delivered this summer. Right now, I'm standing on one of them. This is the future mansion. They just finished the cementation of the basement and it will be listed, currently it's off market, but will be listed somewhere around 15 million euros, enjoying this absolutely top level sea views that Zagaleta has to offer. And here is another fantastic example of a new modern house rising from the ashes. Originally there was an Andalusian house behind it, it was completely demolished, and now we can see this. Soon will be listed officially on the market. On another note, did you know that all houses in Zagaleta are separated by protected nature with centenary oak trees? These passages are used by animals to go between the houses and access all Zagaleta. So your closest neighbor is actually very far away, which, no matter how friendly they are, is always very nice. And yes, the wildlife in Zagaleta is another exciting chapter. While you're driving in your car, you can find a group of deers or wild hogs that decided to cross the street. So you better be careful on the turnings. These animals are fed and looked after all the time, and they're just part of Zagaleta and what makes it so special. Generally, they are very accustomed to people, even though they tend to stick to their own business. It's amazing to see them walk around like that as if they are in the wild nature. Every time I see them, I get excited. Imagine how excited would a kid get. I know I already said that the total size of Zagaleta is 900 hectares, but to give you a better perception, inside of Zagaleta we've got 50 kilometers of internal roads. That will give you a nice idea of how big it is. Like a small town all by itself, and like any town, it's got plenty of things to offer you. The most unique one is probably the clubhouse, with 2 private golf courses, each 18 holes, and it's only for members with a membership cost of around 100,000 euros. Pretty expensive, right? So owning a house in Zagaleta doesn't allow you to use the clubhouse. You're not obliged though. But what if you want to be a member and you don't own a house in Zagaleta? Well, that's possible to do for 100,000 euros. So one way or another, you're sure to have some interesting golf partners. And the clubhouse has always been known as the social place of Zagaleta. Its total size is 5,000 square meters. You've got a great restaurant with a 5-star service and beautiful views from the terrace. Bar, lounges, bowling alleys, pro shop, or you can book it for private events, or even a wedding if you want, but of course only for members. There's also a second clubhouse at the northern part. It's much smaller, very intimate, not as used as much for the moment, but with big plans for the near future. All the rest amenities can be used by all owners. You've got an equestrian center with 20 stables and a riding school for all levels. You've got horse riding, hiking and mountain biking trails all around. Also, did you know that there are some apartments for sale in Zagaleta? It's an interesting fact. There's only around 8 units and they're about 50 to 150 square meters. They rarely come up for sale, but when they do, they can be priced at around maybe 300,000 to 900,000 euros, more or less. They can be used sometimes for staff to live inside of Zagaleta and be next to the house, or private lounges because they are located next to the clubhouse. Another interesting fact is that the owners in Zagaleta are not allowed to build private tennis or paddle courts. Funny enough, tennis can be very noisy and there's a lot of echo here and the ball hitting can get quite annoying. But you've got 2 tennis courts available at the racket club for anybody that wants to use them. There's also a helipad available for private arrivals in case you want to come flying from the Malaga airport, for example, which is just 70 kilometers away and has great connections with the rest of Europe. Also, Zagaleta service has around 50 staff to make your life easier. Shopping delivered before your arrival, service of chauffeurs, nannies, cleaning, anything you want basically can be done like in a 5-star hotel. Even, and I hope not, if you have a medical urgency, Zagaleta collaborates with local clinics and hospitals which are less than 15 kilometers away and can send you a helicopter to pick you up and take you to the closest private clinic. So don't worry, everything here is under control. Many people don't realize how close Zagaleta is to everything, being so up in the mountains. Actually, it's 400 meters above sea level, even though the location of your property inside of Zagaleta plays a big role, because you can be anywhere from 1-minute drive to the south entrance up to 15-minute drive to the south entrance. So that's already a big difference. But from the south entrance, you're only 2 kilometers away to the closest shops. You're 5 kilometers away to the San Pedro town, 7.5 kilometers to the San Pedro Marble Beach Promenade, 9 kilometers to Port Benus, and only 12 kilometers to the famous Puente Romano Hotel on the Golden Mile. Currently, the closest international school is Colegio Internacional Bilingüe Atalaya, which is 8.5 kilometers away. And you've got the Aloha College 10 kilometers away. Close enough? You decide. I'm only here to open the door into this beautiful estate. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You've got the link below to our website in case you want to have a look about more information on Zagaleta and take a look at all the beautiful properties that we have there for sale. Ask me a question. If there's something I didn't answer, leave it below and I promise you to read every single comment and I'll promise to try and answer every single comment. If there's something I don't know, I'll try and find out. As always, I'll see you very soon. Take care.